Good morning, good afternoon, good morning, wherever time zone you're checking in from. This is speaker and coach Honey Shantay. This is Financial Fitness Fridays Talk Plus. Woo! I'm fired up today, y'all. I'm fired up. This topic today is a two-part series. So let's go. Actually, it's four-part series. We're on series part two. Is actually what we're on today. And so I'm coming in. We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk fire. This is the day. Take some notes. We're gonna dig in deep. So like it, share it. Let somebody know I'm live. Take notes. Get your pen and paper. I got my notes. I'm ready to go. Like I'm ready out the gate. I'm coming in hot. But for those of you who are new to this channel, we talk about finance, we talk about entrepreneurship, we talk about leadership, we talk about business, we talk about an array of topics. So if you are one who are just now, catching wind to what's happening on this Financial Fitness Fridays at 2 p.m. East Coast time zone, then you are not too late. You are still on time to catch wind with us. You can always go back and watch the replays. You can watch it on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Sometimes you even go on TikTok. So you can find me on there as well. So for those of you who are on IG, those of you on YouTube, Facebook, shout out to all of you all today. TikTok, if you find me there. Shout out to all you who are watching me for whatever platform you're catching me from. I celebrate you all for this Friday, this May 8th, 2026. I'm excited about it. But this is a day we're going to take some notes. So for those of you who are note takers like myself, I guilty of charge, note taker, like to take notes. For you thinkers out there, those of you who would like to really know all the nuts and bolts of things and all that, as they say, this is for you. For those of you who want to have fun, we're going to have fun. It'll be exciting. For those of you who are like, let's get going, let's get it going, let's get it happen. I got time, things to do. We're going to get in, we're going to get out. For those of you who want to know what value I'm going to bring and what I have to share, I'm bringing tons of value for you. So this will not be a waste of time of your day. This is going to be an effective time of your day because it's all about how systems turn to profit in your business. So we've been speaking about the 4 pillars of entrepreneurship. We started 2 weeks ago, as a matter of fact, when I explained all 4 of them, but now we're breaking down each one. So 2 weeks ago, I mentioned to you the 4 pillars or the 4 areas of entrepreneurship. As if you're a solopreneur, if you're building a small team, a small business, the 4 pillars, and really of any business, any company, when you look at it in the grand scheme of things, they are philosophy. That's the first one. Systems, the second one. Infrastructure, and then the fourth one is volume. That's where you see the profit really coming in. So last week we talked about philosophy, and I used the example of McDonald's. And so I'm going to use that same example to go further when I talk about systems today. So when you think about McDonald's, now I know some people like McDonald's. Some people do not like McDonald's. It's all good. But one thing we can all agree that they have a heck of a business model and how they have built their business. If you think about McDonald's, if you want to buy a McDonald's franchise, you guys, whether you eat their food or not, it costs $1 million to buy a McDonald's franchise. Wow. And they're all over the country. And not only this country, all over the world. There's a McDonald's in most every continent of this planet. There is a McDonald's. That's what you call a business that capitalized on it having these 4 areas dominating. So let's talk about McDonald's again. So if we think about Ray Kroc, I mentioned to you about Ray Kroc. Now, Ray Kroc is not the founder of McDonald's, but he is the one who caused McDonald's to be revolutionized in terms of the fast food industry, where he allowed McDonald's to become a franchise. And the first franchise location is in the state of Illinois. That's the first McDonald's location that's a franchise. The first one, the actual standalone, is in San Bernardino, California, which I believe is now a museum. So Ray Kroc saw the system. The brothers brought Ray Kroc in. Ray Kroc was a salesperson who brothers befriended him and allowed him to see their process, their system, which started from a philosophy. They believed they could make the food faster. The first time they did it, it failed. The second time they went back around and it was successful. So when it was successful the second time around, they learned they got to make it faster, which became their philosophy. Remember I said their philosophy last week was their belief that they make the McDonald's or they can make the fast food, the food industry faster. So the customers can come back and want more. So that was their philosophy. But their system, a way of doing it, was a particular way. And that particular way, Ray Kroc said, hey, you guys got a system that's highly effective. Why don't you duplicate that and have multiple locations? So Ray Kroc was such a visionary leader. He was looking, how can we scale this? How can we scale this business to also profit us even the more, to make greater impact, to serve more families, to help them with their fast food? Even though we may not eat the food like that, but however, their business practice, their business minded, the way Ray Kroc did it was revolutionary. So systems work. So Ray Kroc took a system. He believed in the philosophy because he believed in that. So you cannot build a business unless you believe in what they're doing and how they're doing it. That's any business. You have to believe in it. If you don't, it will never work. It will always be a war within yourself. So Ray Kroc believed in this system. He believed in their philosophy, more importantly, which is why he was able to build multiple locations. A lot of times we as entrepreneurs, we want to get into something, but we don't necessarily fully believe it. It will never take off the way it should because there was never no belief to begin with. Ray Kroc believed in it, and therefore he duplicated that system that he learned, because he had to learn that business to make it a franchise and to have it in multiple locations. So because he had that willingness, that heart, that posture to learn, it served him extremely well. Extremely well. And so Ray Kroc invited others to be a part of that. He invited others to be a part of what he was doing. Once he got his location, he got it going, he let other people get involved in it. So we're going to talk about that as we go along, about the different points about how the system really profits you. So we're going to get into some note takers. So all you note takers out there, like myself, all you people who want to know the fine detail, all those who want to know how you can help people build relationships, and how system does that, we're going to talk about that. We're going to dive into that here in a shortly. But nonetheless, Ray Kroc took that into Illinois, and then he ended up linking up with other folks who he wanted to present an opportunity for them to have their location. And they have their location, and their other locations, and other people have a location. It become location, which is why we see so many McDonald's locations around this country and around the world. It started with them having a philosophy that led to a system. The system is what drew that. Every McDonald's make their burgers the same way. Every McDonald's. They put the pickles on a certain way. They put the ketchup, the mustard on a certain way. They warm the meat up. They warm the meat, whatever it is. The bread a certain way. They toast it a certain level. All that is a system. And so when it comes to our business or business you're in, it has to be so a system driven that anybody, anywhere could step in and do the same thing. And it could keep that ship could keep on sailing. It could keep on going. A lot of times, if we have something that's not really a system in place, then anybody can do what they want to do, and it's never duplicatable, and the customers are never really satisfied. And you never have returning customers because you never took the time to develop this and have this in place and communicate that to the marketplace. So this is deep stuff what I'm speaking about today. So let's dive into the deeper things. So we know that having a system, it causes you to have duplication, it drives your business, and it makes it scalable. And it causes retention and data. It causes all these different things for you to be able to improve, to have great customer experience, great retention amongst your team, all these different things it does. So let's dissect these areas that I just alluded to a moment ago. So the first one is system turns effort into consistency. So for you taking notes, jot that down. System turns effort into consistency. System creates a repeatable process. So a repeatable process is occurred in systems. I was just having this conversation with someone on my team yesterday, on the team yesterday. He and I was having a one-on-one meeting, and I was explaining to him why systems is so important and why I'm doing a certain thing a certain way. Now, to the naked eye, it may or may not make sense. Because you're like, why is she doing this? Why we gotta do it this way? Why is this so important? Because it's allowing this person to learn a system. It's allowing this person to do the same thing with their team. It's allowing them to have this, so everyone is having the same experience. One thing, when a system is not being duplicated, everyone don't have the same experience. It's why you go into certain places, they say, oh, well, so-and-so do it this way. Well, so-and-so do it this way. Case in point, I'm not here to dig at nobody, but I'm just giving an example. Frontier Airlines. Now, I don't fly Frontier all the time, but I have flown them when I had to get last minute flight, and they were the best rate I can get. And I have had different experience. Matter of fact, the first time I flew on Frontier, the lady said, if I feel like your bag, your personal item is too big, first of all, pause. She said, if I feel like your personal item is too big, you ain't gonna be able to take on the plane. You're gonna have to pay. Like, what? And this is my first time riding them. I had a connecting flight, and I had a mismatched flight. And the mismatch was with America and in Frontier. And so I said, what the heck? You know, like, what does she mean? Like, if she feels like it, is that in the policy? Is that in their system? Is that in their way of doing things? If a employee feel like your item is too big, what? That stuck with me. That was like 2 years ago. That still sticks with me to this day. I couldn't believe she said that if I feel like it. Not the system, not our process, not our requirements, our regulations states that. She said if she feels like that. So right there in that moment, she gave me an experience, and it stuck with me to the point I was reluctant to almost ride with them and fly with them again, because it was not a good experience. Because she said it was such a, I feel like it, like she's doing me a favor, like not even doing us a favor, like if I feel like it, if I like you or not. That's how I came across, which was not the best experience, right? No one would like somebody to say that if I feel like it. Well, how you know how can you determine? What measurements are you going with? So, however, that was an experience. Now, if there's a system of them having great customer experience, everybody would do the same thing at every location. Meaning, if they want the customers to have a great experience, it would be a better, and she would say something better. She would say something different. She said, according to our policy. Then everyone will have the same experience, because every Frontier airline will be saying the same thing. But that's not the case. No dig to them and those who may work there. I'm just pointing out an example of my experience. And then I went to another time I flew with them. The lady was so nice. And then another time I went to them, they were so mean. Now you might say, well, Shantay, you can't control people. That's true. But they should have, the policy should be across the board. Regardless of the personality is different. The personality is individualized, but their policy is broad, it's corporate, it's across the board. So, however, because of that, it needs to be the trust is not fully there, which is why some people don't fly the airline, because the experience, they always say, is not the best, because there's inconsistency. There's not duplicatable. And so, and that's it. And maybe they may train their employees to be that, to duplicate, and they just take it on their own to do what they want to do. That could be so too. That could be very well so. That does happen in business too. But people just do their own thing and they don't follow the way that the thing is already working. It's already working. Why reinvent the wheel? So anyway, that's the first one. It's 6 points I'm going to give you all today. That's the first one. The second point is system actually save time. When you save time, you're saving time and you're saving money. So therefore, you do not want to lose money and nor waste time, because we know we can't get time back. Time is important. Time is very important. Every time you have to figure it out again, you hear people say, oh, I got to figure this out. I got to figure it out again. Every time you have to figure it out again, we lose time. And ultimately, you're losing money. So no one wants to do that. That's not going to be good for you. So when you do have the system in place and you're actually saving time and money, it reduces decision fatigue. So you don't have to be like, oh, I got to figure out what I'm going to do. No, you have a system in place. That system is going to drive your decisions. It drives your process. It drives how you think. It drives your day. It drives it because you already know how the system flows. You know how it works. It speeds up execution. So you know how to execute. You execute it. Then you're able to, then you and your team. So if you have a team, if you're someone who has a team, if you have other people with you, business partners, things of that nature with you, or it's just you by yourself in the beginning, you saving yourself time. Then you can focus on high value activities. So when you have a system in place, when you're saving time, money, you can focus now on high value activities. Now when you're not just being a busybody, or just being busy, just doing something. You're doing something that's going to lead to something. You're constantly moving the needle forward to profit. You're moving the needle closer to make an impact, to serving people. Most importantly, to serving people, which is our mission here, which is what I get to do day in and day out, which I'm excited about that. I love what I get the opportunity to do. I'm grateful. I thank God for it because I know God placed me here to do that. And even when I'm doing with you guys right now, this is what I do day in and day out. And plus, I get to serve families, help families. Which shout out to us. This is a sidebar. I'm having something today, a gathering where I get to serve families. And this is online, by the way. And then you get to see me in real time, in real action, how I get to help families. I met with some families on Tuesday, and they were so blown away. That's why we're having this encore today, because that was the feedback. They said, Shantay, are you going to do this again? And I said, I'm going to do it. They said, are you going to do it this week again? Not next week or another time. They said, can you do this again this week? Because it's so important. Because we have a system in place that really to help families, to give families freedom, security, and peace. Every family wants that. Every family needs to be elevated, empowered, educated, and elevated. So what I get the opportunity to do, and what we get the opportunity to do, most importantly, is to bring that value to families and show them, not just tell them, but really walk you through it so you can receive it, obtain it. That's what I get to do. And that right there touches my heart. Matter of fact, I just got off a call with someone, maybe about 25, but now it's probably like a 40 minutes ago now, because it's already 18 minutes after the hour. And her and I had a good conversation. And she said, Shantay, you know what? When you were in corporate America, you did good by me. And I see what you're doing now in business. And she said that I trust you. You've always done right by me. And I do. And I believe in doing right by people. I really, really do. I really do. I believe in integrity and having godly character in business, in personal life, in every area. I really, really do believe in that. And so when I sit down with someone, I really do want to not only bring them value, but they're getting to know me. And we're building a healthy relationship. That's important to me. That really is. Like this is my heart speaking. This is not in my notes. I was not planning on saying all this, but I just want you guys to hear my heart about these things, because I understand systems better than I ever did. Asked me 2 years ago. You asked me a year ago. Did I put the same stock and value in systems? No, I did not. I can honestly say that. I earnestly say that. Be truthful with you all. I did not. And I'm not saying I may not be the only one who has done that, who's not really put a lot of value and a lot of stock in really implementing something, or having somebody show you how you can implement it. Now I'm meeting entrepreneurs that's asking me, hey, Shantay, can you help me with my business? I'm starting an entrepreneurship. How can you help me? Can you help me with that? And I say, yes, and I will hold you accountable. Because I believe in what I do. I believe in this. When I'm talking about these 4 pillars, I believe in it like I never believed in it before. I'm so serious. I am not kidding. 6 months ago, it was there, but I got such a greater insight, understanding, such a conviction of it, a strong conviction of it, because it is truth. One thing about principles, when you honor those, it's unchangeable. It's unfutable. You cannot feudate. You can't feudate against it, because it's proven. It's no longer just a person's opinion. It becomes facts. It becomes principles. Like they say, you reap what you sow. It's principles. Like these are spiritual laws. These are natural laws. These are things that happen. These are laws. And same thing in business. And so once I finally got a hold of that, I understood that, I'm running with it. So let's go back to it. So high volume activities, it like closing deals. So it leads you to close deals. You can close deals. At the end of the day, if you're an entrepreneur and you ain't got no other job and that's your full-time job, you know you got to close deals, because how you going to put food on your table? How you going to pay for your business? How you going to live? It helps you close deals. It helps you turn that system that turns into a profit. Now you're making money in your business to do greater things that you got to do. So that's one thing. And then finally, like I said, it helps you build relationships. The third point, system reduce costly mistakes. A lot of times people go out there and just say, oh, I want to start my own entrepreneurship. I want to start business and I want to just do this. And they get all kind of trial and error. I was that way. Okay, I don't know what happened, but something happened over here. And this is how you know that something, this is how you know something is good is being said, because all of a sudden, I'm live here on Facebook, guys, and the thing just cut off. It cut off on me. It had never, it's just like somebody ended the broadcast as if I ended the broadcast. It has never, ever done that for me. Like, I end the broadcast. I'm back Facebook. I don't know what happened. This is just then. But we're going to keep this show on the road. So we're going to keep on going forward. So anyway, so the third thing is system reduce costly mistake. I just mentioned that a moment ago. It reduces that. So what happens is it leads. So what end up happening when you don't make mistakes? Like I was just saying, when I started entrepreneurship, I tried and error. I had to learn some things the hard way. And so, but when you have a system that you really do have in place, or is already there, or you step into a system that's already placed, like Ray Kroc did with McDonald's. He stepped into something that was already existing. He didn't have to go out there and reinvent the wheel. So it saved him costly mistakes. It saved him time and money. It saved him that because it was already something that was invented. It was already something established. He just went up there and just created it even more and built it and caused it to expand in multiple locations. And so system reduce costly mistake. It leads don't get forgotten. So the leads that you give for people, they're not forgotten because you have a system in place to follow that. That's why you do a lot of automations and all that. Clients do not get inconsistency because if you don't have these things in place, clients are getting inconsistency. As I mentioned before about Frontier, I was getting inconsistent experience because they were not consistent following the system, even the leaders. So that was my experience there. And so your team and your clients get to have a great experience. Not just for your clients and your customers, but those of you who all may have business partners that come into your team or come into your business with you. They get to have the same experience too. You want them to have a great experience. You want them to have that same great experience that your clients or your customers are experiencing. So when you have a system that reduces costly mistakes, it's now your team or the team is experiencing that great experience as well. And then, and if you don't have this in place, if you are making costly mistakes, money leaks through. Money leaks through inefficiency. Money leaks through. Because if people is inefficiency. And clients and your team have the same quality experience I just mentioned before. Errors are minimized. And so when errors are minimized, that means it's run like an oil well machine. It's going. It's like, it's working. This thing is working. And processes are documented and improved over time. So basically at the end of the day, the profit impact is you lower loss, stronger customer and client and business partner retention. That is what's ultimately happening. So the fourth thing is a system makes your business scalable. All right, y'all, this is a big one right here. This is a big one. Now, if you're taking notes, capture this one. Systems make your business scalable. It makes it possible. However, I got to say this now. Listen up, listen closely. Listen closely. You cannot, and I repeat, you cannot grow a business that depends only on you. Whew. Catch that one. You cannot grow a business that depends on you. Now, some of y'all said, what you mean by that, Shantay? You may be folding your arms and watching this replay. You may be like, what she mean by that? What you mean, Shantay? How you mean if it's only me? What if I'm doing something that's only me? Maybe I'm a notary. I'm not notaries. No, it just came to my mind. You cannot build a true business that truly depends only on you. Because what happens if you get out? What happens if you get injured? You get hurt? You want to go on vacation and you're not doing no work. You want to spend time with your family. And it's only you. Who's there to fill who's there to fill in your gap? So to build it, it has to be a true business. A true business is independent of you. Look at Amazon. Jeff Bezos, that thing is running without him there. Think about the franchisor versus the franchisee. The franchisor is not there, but he's collecting royalties. The franchisee is paying him money. He's not there. It's independent of him. He's getting royalties and it's independent of him. He does not have to be there. If that's the case, if you got to be there, you might as well go collect a paycheck, because employee single-handed income requires you to be there. Self-employment requires you to be there. You would never build it like it should be. It's always dependent on you. When you have multi-handed business, you say, Shantay, what is that? Multi-handed business is independent of you. That means you making money. It's like making money in your sleep. It's independent of you. It has nothing to do with you. It's beyond you. It's bigger than you. That's how you truly scale your business. If you're not in a business like that, then let's talk. Real talk. Let's talk. Because in these days and time, it is dangerous to have one income. And unless that one income is producing multiple coming towards your direction. And at a high rate. And I don't mean like pennies and a dollar. I don't mean like little chump change. I'm talking about thousands of dollars and greater. That's what I'm speaking about. I'm talking about that kind of business. That's what I do. Just FYI. If you want to be part of that, you sure can. We can talk. Holla at your girl. Real talk. Especially if you're looking to really start a business. And one thing, a lot of times people get into business, and I made that mistake. I got into business, but I didn't know how to run a business. I can be totally transparent. I just did not know how to run it, y'all. I had a passion, but passion sometimes can still leave you on a self-employment train. You're self-employed. You don't have no company, and you don't have a true business. That may be some hard facts for people, a hard pill to swallow, as one would say. But a true business is independent of you. That means you have got your business to a point where it's making money and you're not even present. It's so independent of you. So systems allow you to train others faster. That's what makes it scalable. Because now you're training your other people to do what you're doing faster. So you don't got to be there. And then eventually they ain't got to be there. It's like a cycle. We all have time and freedom. We all have that freedom to do what we want to do. It's not dependent on us, which makes it so awesome when you think about it that way. So systems, when it's scalable, when scalable is possible, it allows you to delegate with confidence. Because the system going to run it. If they are competent, real talk, if they're competent and can follow the playbook, like just case in point, basketball players, right now it's NBA playoffs going on, right? NBA playoffs is going on, and at this time, they got the game plan. Football players, when it's in football season, baseball, you name it, volleyball, tennis, whatever, golf, they have a game plan, and their job is to stick to the script. Because if they do that, it's going to make them scalable. It's going to make them profitable if they stick to the script. So they stick to the script. They stick to the game plan. The game plan said you do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Then you're going to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, just like the coach said. And so now when you're delegating, you as a leader, you as an entrepreneur, you as a business owner, you delegating with confidence. You are a leader that can show up, not just a good leader, but you can show up as a great leader. Hello, somebody. It makes it replicable. And it leads to success across the team. Now the team, everybody's winning. Everybody's a champion. Everybody kicking butt. Everybody making money. Everybody making a profit, revenue. Everybody's making impact. Everybody's helping people, helping families, serving the community, serving their communities, serving leaders, showing up as a servant leader. Now you're really scalable. Now you're out there talking. Now you're out there speaking. I'm telling you, that's how it happens. Ooh, I'll get fired up. Okay. Let me calm down. So this is how small businesses become scalable operations. I'm going to repeat that again. This is how small businesses become a scalable operation. The profit impact of that revenue can grow without your time growing. And the same thing can happen to you. That's called time and money freedom. So basically, your revenue can grow without your time. Now you have time and money freedom because you scaled the business so much. Now you can travel to all around the world. And you say, why are they traveling here? Why are they there? How are they there? Because they learned scaling their business, properly scaling it. A business can never grow if it only depends on you. You cannot be everything of that business and think it's going to grow. You need something to scale it. You need to scale it. So anyway, so let's go to the fifth one. For the sake of time, I got to go. The fifth one is system improves customers or clients' experience. We've been talking about that, but let's dive into it just a little bit more. So basically, when you have a system in place, it makes for every encounter with someone, potential or a person who's becoming a partner with you. And that makes it smooth. It's a system makes it smooth. It makes it predictable. At the end of the day, we want it predictable. A great example of predictability, who are great at this, who has dominated their market with this exact system of client and customer experience. And that is Chick-fil-A. We all know they say my pleasure. Everyone says my pleasure. No one says you're welcome. My son was a supervisor there. He came as an associate and moved up to a supervisor. And they are very picky because you got to have their kind of culture, Christian values. You have to be the person that they are picky. It don't even cost much to get a Chick-fil-A franchise, by the way. It costs way more to get a McDonald's one. But Chick-fil-A, oh no, they picky. But they have dominated. And they have trained other organizations, companies, and businesses on how to have a system that values the customer experience. So whereas every time you go to Chick-fil-A, we can predict they're going to say my pleasure. If somebody say you welcome, we're going to be like, oh, you know you weren't supposed to say you welcome. Everybody says my pleasure at Chick-fil-A because we know what they do. It's predictable. That is part of their system. Not only a culture thing, not only something they do because they believe in having a great customer service. That's true. All these things are above. Check, check, check. Yes, yes, yes. But however, it's embedded in their system. It's embedded in their process. It's embedded in their beliefs. And so because of that, Chick-fil-A, we like their customer service. Who doesn't like Chick-fil-A customer service? They all say, my pleasure, my pleasure, my pleasure. And they have a smile on their face. They bring their food to you. I mean, they just believe in customer service. That's part of their system. So it's not just a cultural thing. It is a cultural thing. It's become their culture, but it's bigger than the culture. The heartbeat of it is that's their system. That's how come they're effective in there. And they keep having customers come back and back and back again. Hey, Kimmy. Hey, friend. As they have people coming back and back and back again because of that. So basically, in a nutshell, you get faster response when you have a system that improves customer clients or experience, faster response, clear communication, reliable delivery. So everybody knows the delivery is going to be satisfactory. Everybody knows the delivery is going to be great. Everyone knows this. Satisfied clients. Clients are now satisfied. Customers are now satisfied because they're going to get the same experience because it's duplicatable. So every time my son worked at Chick-fil-A when he was supervisor at one point, they all learned. They had to go through some type of specialized training, which we do that too. FYI, we do that. That's why we're going to all be in Canada here soon about that. Make sure everyone knows how to do it. Everyone is now learning the system, but we know how to build a business properly. So we can all make impact. We can all go out there and serve the community, serve families, help individuals, help businesses, entrepreneurs, guide them, lead them, help them show them the way. And so that's what Chick-fil-A does too. They train. They wish you off some type of specialized training. They do. My son had to go to some type of training. He had to do that, which is good. And he appreciates that. Consistency is key. Yes, it is. And so not only that you get satisfied clients, and guess what? These clients are going to return, they're going to refer, and they're going to spend more money. They're going to spend more because they trust you. You got a system that they can trust. You have built something that is building relationship and that trust. That no trust factor is all embedded when you have a system that's running properly and you're honoring that system and you have a system in place. I meet people who don't have this in place. That's why one day I meet them this way, the next minute I meet them that way. They're not sticking to the script. They're not sticking to the system. Amazon, they stick to the system. You could name anyone, McDonald's, all of that. What we do in our business, we do the same thing. The exact same thing. So everyone's having that experience. And so the final point, also the profit impact, let me say that the profit impact of that particular system, number 5, is higher lifetime customer value. At the end of the day, we want to make sure their customer is satisfied. We want to make sure they're satisfied, they're happy. And we're going above and beyond to make sure that. That's part of the system. And that's what Chick-fil-A does, and that's what we do. So the last one is system creates measurable data. So we need to be able to improve. Sometimes we need to improve. We need to work out the kinks. We need to improve our skill set. That's what we're doing right now. That's what I'm learning about. And I want to constantly improve. I don't ever want to stay the same way, because I think if you're not growing, you're dying. It's only one of the two. You're either gonna grow or you're gonna die. Because it's just, you can't stay stagnated. You gotta evolve. Your thinking has to evolve. It has to grow. And so in business, in terms of that, it's the same thing. You want to make sure, okay, what worked, what didn't work. Let me go back and make sure. I need to tweak something here in this process. Do I need to add something? Do I need to sharpen something? And so all these different things I do too. I have to self-reflect, and I believe in self-reflect. You read my book, I talk about that a lot. I believe in pondering, self-reflect, meditating, chewing back on, examine, self-examination to see what we can improve. So having a system allows you to track where you are, track what's working and what you can improve on. That's why it's so important. So whether it's good or bad or indifferent, a system monitors conversion rates, customers acquisition costs, and retention rate. So you get to see all that, okay, what's working, who's sticking, who's going there, what's working, how is clients or customers responding to this? Do they like this way better? Do they like that way better? These are different things that you can measure and you can tweak. And so profit impact of that, basically at the end of the day, it leads to you making smarter decisions with your system, and you gain wisdom. So you know what to do and what not to do, what direction to take, what direction to take or not take or to take. And then at the end of the day, you get a higher ROI, a return on your investment. So these right here is how you have a system that leads to profit, which is our second pillar in entrepreneurship. Next time we come back together, we're going to talk about infrastructure and how that leads to profit. So with that being said, it's been a great time, you guys. I got to hop off this call. I got other things to do. Well, not this call, this live, I should say, on Facebook. And then, of course, it'll be shortly here on YouTube and then on IG. So with that being said, I got to hop off. But please leave comments, questions. Think about what I said. This right here is so key. This is right here is a course in itself, and providing this to people, because the fact of the matter is it really helps you build up your business. I tell folks all the time, I've been saying this lately about McDonald's. I said that whether you like their food or not, their business and how they did it, you got to give respect. As they say in the street, you got to give props where props is due, because they have, and they're still going strong. They still strong. All these decades later, they're strong. And they understand how you do the franchise and then how you get royalties and all that stuff like that. So with that being said, if you are a person who says, Shantay, I want to talk to you further. What are you doing in your business? Hey, I would like to learn that. If you want to sit down and talk to me, if you want to actually be a part of it, or just talk to me, ask me questions, because I do meet people on the side, behind the camera, so to speak, that ask me questions, that's looking to me. In fact, I meet with somebody today who's want to talk to me about it further because they really want to get into entrepreneurship. And I share with this person, I've shared with people lately, when I first started entrepreneurship, I didn't know all this stuff. No clue. I just knew I wanted to do it, and that was pretty much all the vision I had. How do I go about doing it? How you make it scalable? How do you have a system? How you have all these different things in place? I just didn't know it. I learned these things, and because now I learned it, I get the opportunities, and I took time to learn it. I took time, so I wasn't coaching like that. I coach all the time. I'm coaching now, basically in essence, but I really wasn't coaching in terms of business. In terms of me charging for my coaching services, I was not doing that. I took time to learn how to build a business and how to do it properly. So now I go back and talk to people. I got so much value. I gained so much wisdom and understanding and insight that now I'm more confident, true story, transparency, that I can go back and I can bring you incredible value. Before I could bring you some good value. Now it's incredible. And I'm not saying, and I say that in humility and reverence of God. I say that because I had to learn that. I had to become a student of the game. And so now I'm still willing to learn. I still got tons of more to learn and willing to learn it. Willing to learn it. Want to learn it. Desire to learn it. But also desire to help people now get it. Now I want other people to get a hold of that. That's where I'm at right now, personally. In business, that's where I'm at. And that's why and God is bringing people my way who genuinely want somebody to show them how to do it. Some people just jumping out there. They just jumping out there like I did, and they struggling, or they say, man, why is this not working, or why is how can I build this better? And it's not going to turn a profit overnight. It's not for you to turn a profit overnight, but it's for you to have these things put in place so you eventually will see a profit if you just stick with it, and you have the right people around you, and it's the right business. Because some business ain't designed to set up like this. It's just not. But however, with that being said, this is Coach Honey. This is Financial Fitness Fridays Talk Plus. Like and share with somebody. These nuggets were extremely valuable. Watch the replay. Take some notes. Jot it down. Share with somebody. Ask somebody to watch this live or watch the replay because they're going to be blessed by it. And I pray I was a blessing to you all who will watch the replay or who are watching live now. And with that being said, you all have a honeylicious Friday. Remember, we eat the honey. We eat the honey. We eat the honey. And what we do with the honey, we release the honey back to others. We be a blessing. So we don't just get blessed, we be a blessing. So go release some honey on somebody else and be a blessing in their life. You all have a great rest of your Friday. Take care.